Hello and welcome to Online Study for You, your complete placement solution. I'm your host, Sakanksha, and today we are joined by Debjit from Kolkata, who has successfully landed the TCS digital role and is all set to join the company. Let's hear about his placement journey, how he prepared, and what helped him the most along the way. Hello, Debjit. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Sakanksha. Thank you for giving
So,
me the opportunity to have a talk with you. So,
sure.
I am Devjit. I pursued my computer science and engineering degree from Kalyani Government Engineering College. I passed out in the year 2024 from my college, and currently I have got the I am employed in TCS in the TCS digital role and as systems engineer. Yeah.
So, what made you interested in a company like TCS and more specifically the digital role? Was it something you always had in mind or it just came along the way?
See, TCS is a reputed company. The Tata brand name hosts a lot of authority than other companies. So getting employed in TCS is good actually. And Tata Consulting Services and the digital role, it has decent package. It's not too bad, not too not on the higher side also. So getting a digital role in the TCS is quite good for me.
So, how did the whole application process begin for you? Could you walk us through when you applied and how you kept track of the admit card and exam schedule?
Yeah, so my TCS journey can be divided into two parts. Because in the first part, when the company came to my college, it was through on-campus mode of hiring, and at that time, I got the TCS Ninja role for. I got selected for the TCS Ninja. So the on-campus exam session differ from college to college. So in my college, the last date for applying for the on-campus interview in on-campus exam was like April 5th of 2020, January 5th of 2020. Okay. So the test date was organized, kept at 15 January, and the results were disclosed 1 to 2 weeks after that. And after that, the interview was scheduled in our college only. It was scheduled for 7th of February 2024, and they usually disclose the results 2 weeks after the interview. So, and like it was, but this time they were a little late. So, like by the first week of March, I got my selection in TCS Ninja. This was the first part. I mean, then comes the part for the off-campus interview part. Off-campus, the date for it also has the same procedure. So all the guys who have got to TCS Ninja or TCS Digital, they can sit for the off-campus exam, and they can opt for higher roles. Like the TCS Ninja can get for opt for roles like TCS Prime and TCS Digital. TCS Digital would get for opt for roles like TCS Prime. So during the second phase, the last date to apply was 17th of April. It was open for like all of the colleges all around the country, and the exam was held like in the last week or before the last week of May. It was held on a gap of 2 weeks. So, and the results were disclosed on 29th May. And after that, they took some time because our semester exams were going on all over June, and they took our interview. It was like in the last week of June, and the result was I got my offer letter, and the result was disclosed the first week of July, and offer letter that I received my offer letter on 13 July. And but after that, I had to wait for about 8 months to get my joining letter, which I received on 27th March, and my joining date was and 2 weeks before, on 10th of April.
Wow, that was a long journey, wasn't it? So, Debjit, do you remember any questions from your interview?
Yes, in the first interview that was for the TCS Ninja role, when I entered my interview room, there were three people sitting in the room. One for the technical round, one for managerial round, and one for HR. So basically, most of the time they start with the technical rounds. I provided my CV in front of them, and they first saw this, scanned the CV for 2 minutes, and after that they asked a question regarding my project. My project was from machine learning, and it was from Power BI. So most of the machine, they asked few concepts, very basic concepts about machine learning, followed by some questions they also asked from recursion. They asked me to write a code in recursion. I don't remember the question right now, but it was a pretty easy one. So, and some basic definitions from SQL. So the Ninja interview was relatively very easy. And in the managerial round, since I was holding the position of the chief training and placement representative from my college, so they asked about what was I doing as a as I held the position, and what were my uh, job regarding this. So I answered them. I answered their questions, and they were pretty basic. And one important question that they asked every one of us, that if we are ready to relocate to any other position in any other location or not. So I would provide a tip that always answer this question positively, that yes, we are ready to relocate. Because if you answer, because one of my friend answered this it like, no, I'm not ready to relocate, I will stay in my state only, and he got rejected in the interview, even though he had given a pretty good interview. And followed, and then we they asked me the HR questions, which were pretty much same, and not too many much to bother about. So this was my interview experience for TCS Ninja Role, which was held in my college. But in the second time, when I went for the TCS Digital Role, it was a little bit on the difficult side, not too much on the difficult side, but above average actually. And I got scared because I was interviewed for 2 times. Okay. First, they interviewed me at the first time. They interviewed me. First interview, it was a pretty long. It took like 30 to 40 minutes, and they asked questions. They asked some serious questions regarding from machine learning, like the different algorithms and all. And they also asked question from SQL. They asked me to write a SQL query, which and the condition was provided given from them. And they also asked a coding question, which was relatively easy, but not too much easy. That was I was asked in the Ninja interview. So this was the first interview that I gave on the digital. And after that, they asked me to wait outside because they would take a second technical interview. I don't remember anyone else having gone through this, but I appeared for the interview 2 times. And now some of my friends joke that you gave the interview very good, so you were selected for the prime role. But actually, it wasn't like that. They interviewed me for the second time, and in the second interview was very short and crisp. They asked me few questions from my SQL. They asked me few questions from my machine learning project, and few questions from object oriented programming, and that's it.
So there weren't any coding problems or technical tasks you had to solve on the spot?
Yes, they gave me the coding problem. In the first interview of the digital, they asked me for a coding problem. They gave me a coding problem, and they asked me to write the algorithm or the pseudo code in front of a paper, in a paper. And the SQL codes also, they were SQL queries also, they asked me to write, and it was common for all three of the interviews.
Okay. So was there any part of the interview that where you felt it was unexpected or something that was especially tough for you?
No, it was. I won't say that the interview was too much tough. It was pretty average size of average level of interview. But the thing is that the machine learning algorithms, they were. I didn't expect them to come. Although I prepared them because I already had my final year project on machine learning, but I didn't expect them to go deeper on machine learning algorithms. But it was not too much hard. It was pretty easy. They were pretty easy.
So how was the flow of conversations during your interview? Were the interviewers very friendly, casual, or were they very tough and scary? What was the panel like?
Um, Most of the panel that people would come across, they are very friendly. There's nothing to worry about. But if you're sitting in front in an interview room, you will fumble a little bit. It's nothing to worry, but they cooperate with you. And even if you don't know the answer to some questions, you can tell them directly. They don't mind that. They will alter the questions. What all matters is how much truth you have written in the CV, because being transparent in the CV is the most important thing that I have came across. If you are writing things that you actually don't know, and if they come across that knowledge, there are chances that they might reject you from the interview.
So, for your interview, what did your preparation look like, and how did you plan your days and focus on which areas, especially?
See, when before giving the exam, the NQT exam, I was very much dependent on YouTube. Online Study for You channel has helped me a lot because the live sessions that the sir has taken, especially the questions that sir had solved on the YouTube, I used to prepare them. I used to watch them live and solve my questions along with it. I will suggest everyone to prepare from YouTube, because there's nothing more you can do from it. There's nothing more needed. It's not too much difficult, but if you consistently practice questions of the TCS NQT level, you can clear it very easy.
So, what do you think? What's your perspective that what exactly worked for you in your interview? What impressed the interviewers the most, so much that you landed this role?
They actually, I was interviewed in the second interview. I was interviewed at TCS Kolkata, the Gitanjali Park office. So all the interviews take place in that office only. And one thing that is an X factor from for many of my friends along with me is that they focused more on machine learning, because machine learning is quite a sweet spot for them. Actually, I actually thought so, and they focus on machine learning, generative AI, few questions on generative AI, though although they are from very basic questions, and only you need to have just a knowledge of generative AI, not too much deep about it. So if you're preparing in machine learning or cloud or AI, like the new age technologies actually, so you are on a sweet spot in the interview panel. And if you are having decent projects, and if you answer all the questions, good questions from your regarding your project, you can easily crack the interview. Rest
So,
assured that the technical questions are not too much difficult. They are pretty easy, not too much difficult.
after the interview, did you have a gut feeling of that you were gonna get this role? Or how did you feel like after you walked out of the room, you went out of the office, we were going home? How did you feel like?
I told you that in the digital interview, I was interviewed for two times. It was completely unexpected. I don't think any other guy was interviewed for two times. I don't know if there might be some issues from their side or my side. I don't know about it. But I had a negative feelings that why would I be interviewed two times for the same role? But things got better in the later stage when the results came. Actually,
It always happens at the end. Good things always happen.
yes.
So, when did your offer letter come? Can you describe the moment
My
when you saw it?
I, it was very happy moment for me, my family, and all my close relatives. My offer letter came on 13 July 2020. So all my close relatives were very much happy. My parents were very happy that I got a good job in a good company actually. But thereafter, I had to wait for like 8 months. And when my joining letter came on 27 March, it was more happiness for my family. And then after I joined, and now I am attending in the training session for TCS.
So, looking back, what are some things that you feel really made a difference in your placement journey?
The way I prepared for the NQT session, NQT exam. I mean, I prepared from the YouTube channels. I gave one other thing, that you should give mock tests. You will have plenty of platforms to give mock tests, and you must give mock tests, because you will understand what differences you need to make for giving a better exam. So mock tests are a must, and I thought that mock tests are the X factor that you can come across for clearing the NQT exam.
So, just brushing up your basics and giving mock tests.
Yes,
Will that do?
they are actually that will do.
So, something I really ask everybody when I come call them for this podcast is what advice would you give to someone who is just starting out and who is unsure about where to begin with, what to do? Since you're in that position to give advice now, what is the advice that you would give them?
I would ask them not to worry too much or not to be too much scared about this. Exams are pretty much easy if you if you practice consistently. Okay, so the only thing that matters is how consistently you are practicing the questions and giving mock test for MQT. Because once you are on track, you cannot nobody can stop you from getting the job actually. So start from quantitative aptitude, I would say everyone, because English is a bit easy for an NQT exam. So everybody fumbles on the quantitative aptitude part of it. And reasoning also is pretty much easy. I won't say it, but focus on quantitative aptitude and coding questions. If you solve both of the coding question, you are on a very sweet spot to land the highest job in the company.
Since your communication skill is so good, Debjit, so do you have any special kind of advice about the HR part or the managerial part of the interview where they mostly try to trick you into, they kind of want to put you in a spot where you can't escape from it easily. So, what do you think will help people the most?
See, the question whenever they ask us the question, we always try to come. They ask a complex question, and we try to think a complex answer for it. But I will request everyone to go for a straightforward answer. Think it very clearly and give a very simple answer because that's the answer they want. They would want, they would, as told you, that they would ask you the question of relocation. I would suggest everyone to give a positive answer to it. Okay, but rest assured that if you give the simple answers to every question that are asked in the MR or the HR round, you are on the positive side.
So, finally, how did online study for you help in this journey?
Online study for you, sir, sir has helped me a lot because I practiced all my NQT exams, NQT questions from this channel. Also I saw a previous interview for TCS Digital, TCS Prime in this channel, and this channel owes me a lot for landing this job. And thank you to this channel. I'm thankful to it.
So it's all a loop, right? You saw someone's interview, now someone will watch your interview
Yes,
and they'll land a job. Thank you so much, Debjit, for sharing your story with us. I'm sure it will be a huge help to so many people who are preparing right now. Wishing you all the best as you begin your journey with TCS. Take care, and once again, congratulations.
thank you. And best of luck for everyone appearing today.